Yes, we are recording. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cecilia Boschi. I'm from Argentina. And I'm lead of Women Power Up Network, Latin America region. My co-host is Hannah. Hannah is here. She's not yet here, Priya. So we will.
All right, no problem.
No,
Yeah.
You will be my co-host then. And we have 99 registrations today from 25 countries. We are so glad to be a real global network. Please say hello to each other and let us know from where you have joined today using menti.com with this code 59748442. Some housekeeping rules. We are all here to celebrate women leadership. We are all speaking on individual capacity. Our views expressed here do not any way represent the organization that we work for. This meeting is being recorded. If you are uncomfortable in any way, please feel free to hop out of the event. If not, you are welcome to join our celebration. Now, for community updates, I hand over the session to Priya.
Yeah, thank you very much, Cecilia. Hello, everyone. I am back again. I am Priya Patra, and I am the lead of Women Power Up Network. Let us go through what we did past month. And before that, I wanted to share an exciting news of our North America region lead, that is Hannah Siddiqui. She has been invited by the E&F Commerce Business Summit and Women's Entrepreneur Awards 2021, organized by the United States and Bangladesh Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And she's going to talk about women education, inequality in women education in that summit. And she's going to talk with some elected representatives. That's what she told me. And she is not in here as of now. Maybe she fell asleep, but she was supposed to say a few words about the event. When she joins, we will ask her to do so. But indeed, this is a very, very proud moment for us that she is representing us, the Women Power Up Network region, North America, in that big forum. So yes, everyone, thank you for your support and inspiration and motivation that you always provide us. Now, who we are. Women Power Up Network was incepted in January 26, 2020. And we are not a business, but we are a community with a purpose. A community of, say, around 700 women right now across the globe. And that's why you see that we have registrations from 25 countries in small numbers, but we do have our approach, our influence all across the globe. Our vision is to empower everyone. It's not only women, but also men with the right support, skill to transform the future. And right now we are providing a platform like this to enhance your leadership qualities. We truly believe being good enough is just amazing. You don't really need to be an expert to power each other up. And when such good enough people like this come together, we definitely power up. And together we rise. In our endeavor to rise together, we have launched a mentoring program last month, not last month, a couple of months back, and we call it as We Mentor. I will ask our We Mentor lead, Meghna, to talk about this initiative a little.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Priya. And just like all of you, it's really amazing to be connected in here and meeting so many people even though it's virtually. So very happy to be here, and really some interesting stuff around vMentor. As Priya mentioned, we started our journey approximately a month and a half back, and our intention was to take collaboration to a new zenith. And what we wanted to do, of course, is to add some uniqueness to this by ensuring that people who are comfortable in any which language, non-native English speakers, should also have an opportunity to come forward, to share, to interact with each other and benefit from each other's experience. So we added in an interesting aspect, not only of the time zone, but also trying to match consciously the mentors and mentees together so that they have this opportunity to interact with someone who will be comfortably working in a and collaborating in a language that they are comfortable with. So that's really vMentor for you. And our first cycle is on. We have received nominations from 4 different countries, and we subsequently have a lot more popularity around this. So we have received additional nominations, and hence we are going to come back in after the holiday season with yet another cycle of vMentor. And I think this is amazing. Of all the mentoring initiatives that I have led or have been part of, so many people wanting to connect. And the other flavor to this is we have had a lot of our mentees indicating a desire to be part of this program who are quite senior in the corporate space. They have worked for more than 20 years. And I think that's amazing that these are the people who have a desire to either learn something, to reformat their career, or probably try different new options. So that's really vMentor for you. And just finishing off before I hand it back to Priya and Cecilia, that vMentor will also have opportunities for people to teach back what they will learn or imbibe as a part of this initiative. So very soon we will have something happening in that space as well. Stay tuned. So I think it's over to Priya and Cecilia.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you, Meghna. And as you said, we are taking collaboration to the next zenith. And in the second cycle, we have around 30 registrations for
yes,
mentorship.
we already have 30. Yeah, we already have 30.
So anyone who wants to become a mentor or wants to be mentored, please do express your interest. And Meghna is going to put the link on the chat window so that you can fill the form and let us know from which domain, which country you are in, and we will get a right mentor for you or the right mentee for you. All right. So moving on, this is what we did last month. Last month we had Elise Archer, and she was a fantastic speaker. She's a keynote speaker. She is a CEO of She Sells, host of the She Sells Radio, and international sales keynote speaker. She taught us about how to remove the hidden roadblock that is actually holding us back from achieving our goals. And we also understood why feeling good is usually the key to having everything that we want. We learned how to rewire our beliefs, brain to achieve anything that we want. So, yeah, and this was a speaker that was suggested by Lee as well. And I'm sure that it is because of Lee's influence that she did come and speak with our community. And she was extremely pleased with the response that she got. If you have missed the session, I will share the link to the recording on the chat window. You could go ahead and watch that. What about next month? Well, next month we are taking a break because this is the last event of the year. And we will be back in February 2022 with a big grand event, because that would be our anniversary event again. So, but we are yet to work out the details. So do watch out our social media handles for more. With this, I hand over to Cecilia again to introduce Valeria and to take the event forward.
Thank you, Priya. And yes, I am glad to introduce Valeria, the speaker of the day. Valeria Lakonic is the director and founder of Valelaco Emotional Financial Intelligence, a social impact consultancy agency expert in accompanying individuals, couples, families, and entrepreneurs in the management of their financial emotional health so that they co-create the life they want. So Valeria, it's great to have you here.
Valeria,
I need to unmute myself. Thank you very, very much. It's a pleasure for me to be here and share with you what I love. That is all has to do with intelligence and with emotional financial intelligence. Thank you very much, Power Up Network, for all the work that you do day to day to empower women and men. I agree, it has to be both. That's the way we can share and build up a healthy community and world. And for me, it's a pleasure to be here and share with you. Apologies for my rusty English. I haven't spoken in English for the past 11 years. So I'll do my best. And I've never spoken about this matter in English. So we'll see. I'll try. So before we go into the subject about women and emotional financial intelligence, I'd like to introduce myself a bit more to share with you why is it that I'm doing this. I'm 45 years old. We've been happily married for nearly 20 years with my husband. We have 3 young children, one aged 16, another one aged 14, and a little girl aged 9. And when we got married, we went to live in the UK because my husband wanted to read an MBA. The plan was 1 year MBA, 1 year work experience, and we come back to Argentina. Well, the plan didn't go to plan, and we stayed 9 years in the UK. We had 2 babies there. The 2 boys are British. And then we moved to Chile because we wanted nicer weather, to be honest, and we wanted to be closer to our family. So my husband was offered a job in Chile, and we resigned to everything in England. In England, I worked as an educational psychologist. That is something important. My degree is I'm an educational psychologist, and I'm an insurance broker and a financial coach. Yeah? But until that time, I worked nearly 18 years in the educational system as a teacher of English, as director of the English department here in Argentina, and then in the UK as an educational psychologist. But then when we moved to Chile, as soon as we arrived in Chile, I became pregnant of the little girl, the Chilean girl, Trinidad. And when she was born, she was only 20 days old. She was born, and my husband was made redundant of his job. And I share this openly because he doesn't care. He's fine about it. He was very resilient about it. He was very sort of heads up, and he did what he had to do. He had to look for a job. But the problem was me, my emotional reaction to that crisis, really. I had there my 3 very young children, one aged 5, 3, and a newborn girl. And suddenly we were living in a foreign country with all our savings, yes, but with no income, and with a very high cost of living. Now Chile is in Santiago, it's very, very high, the cost of living, private schools, rent, and all those things that we all know. And my emotional reaction to that situation was very revealing. I realized that there was something to do with money and me, really, because I said, how come I'm worrying so much about money when we have 3 young children, very healthy, we have a happy family, we have our savings, we have money in order to really to pay for everything that we need to pay, but still I worry a lot. On one hand, I was worrying and I was very angry at the boss because I didn't want to go to work. In England, I had the opportunity, the blessing to be able to take a whole year off maternity leave and spend the whole first year of my 2 young children spending time with them. And I didn't want to go to work. I knew that if I started job hunting, I would easily get a job in Chile. They even offered me a job at a very good school there in Santiago. But I didn't want to go to work. I said, no, the first year of my little girl is precious. No, I want to spend time with her. And so I said, what is it with me? You know, why is this impacting so much in my well-being? And there's where I started studying about the psychology of money. And learning more about economics and finance. I always loved numbers. Actually, I started studying business administration. I loved numbers, but I left it apart because education was more strong. You know, I felt more keen to education. And through all that personal development and all that process that I did, things started to change with me. The way I shared money, I spent money, I earned money, I saved money started to be a lot more healthy. And through all that process, I realized that it wasn't just me who was a warrior about money. You know, it wasn't just me who felt stress, financial stress. 75%, there are some studies that show that 75% of the worldwide population suffers financial stress. And why so many people suffer financial stress? Because we don't have financial education. Tell me who of all you have had financial education at school? No, we've never had financial education. And we've never had emotional education, no? And we were never taught about how to talk about money, how to manage money, how to share money. And so all this comes to what I call high levels of emotional and financial illiteracy. And so there's where I said, okay, there's so many people suffering from this that I suffered. There's a huge change in my lifestyle, in my well-being, thanks to all the work that I did on my own, reading books and being my own teacher somehow. And I said, I have to share, I must share this with the rest of the people, because this makes a huge difference to their daily lives. And there's where I designed a method, as an educational psychologist, a method for people to develop their emotional financial intelligence. And you may ask, why, Vale, emotional financial intelligence? Where did it come from? Well, I told you I'm an educational psychologist, and I worked many, many years with Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences and with Daniel Goleman's emotional intelligence. And that's where I said, well, there are 8 intelligences. There must be also a financial intelligence. And actually, there must be an emotional financial intelligence, because it's not just how you manage money, how you earn money, but also how you relate to money. The main aspect. My main issue was how I related to money. And well, I designed this method, making like merging all my experience and all my knowledge around education, psychology, neuroscience, finance, economics, and made this method that I'm going to share a bit about it to you today. So that's the reason why I did this career shift from educational psychologist to being an emotional financial intelligence educator consultant. Yes. So now, yes, let's start, because I think that was very important to share it with you. Like my purpose, as Priya was saying at first. Now, why do I do this? What's important? Why? And it makes a lot of sense to me to spend my daily life sharing this with people, because I think that it makes a huge impact on each one of the people that I share what I know and to the world. Then it's like here's where my English start to get rusty, is where we plant seeds and we start growing new ways of living. No, so Power Up Network. Why does Power Up Network does everything that you do? You know, you do all that to empower people, to empower men, to empower women. No? And why do we want women and men to be empowered? Why do we want people to lead their lives? What for? What would you say? Why do we do all that? I think that the main, yes, Megan.
I think we have some goals for ourselves, and which we want to realize. At least, you know, that's what I have, some aspirations, and I'm sure I need financial backup for that. So that's what is my driving force.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for sharing it. Your driving force, yes. And it's to live the lifestyle that we want. You know, we want to empower ourselves to live the lifestyle that we want. And that's where I like to start with that and give a little bit of time for you, all of you, to think, what is the lifestyle that you want? What do you want for life? You know, what is really non-negotiable in your life? What do you really, really desire? What is very important to you? So just take a few minutes to write it down. This is very important to me. And I'll share the presentation to continue with that. So to just let you think about it a bit more, what kind of lifestyle do you want to live? And there is where I like to think about not just, I don't know, I like to my holidays to be here and there, but to think about all aspects of life. So your lifestyle, yes? Thinking about the segment of your vocational, your work, your professional aspect of your lifestyle. How do you earn money? In which way? What is your purpose? What is your passion? What is your day-to-day work? Is it coherent with what you want, or are you just doing it to earn money? Those are some of the questions that we can ask ourselves. Also, what are your economic and financial goals? What do you want? Where do you want to live? What kind of home? What kind of transport do you want to travel? Where do you want to spend your holidays? What school do you want to send your children to, or you are sending your children to? Then also that sometimes we don't pay special attention to this is, well, your lifestyle. What about your family and your social life, your friends, your community? What is non-negotiable about that? What is it that is really important to you? How much time do you spend with your money? With your family? And then I go, yeah. How much time do you spend with your family? And how much time do you spend with your community? And how much time do you spend with your friends? Are you spending the time that you want to or not? Or maybe you're prioritizing other things, making money, for example, and living apart time to spend with your family and friends. Also around your physical aspect, are you taking the time to do sports? Are you following a nutritious health style? Yeah. And then spiritual and emotional, yes. Are you taking time for your self-development, for your growth? All that has to do with your lifestyle, yes. All those aspects. And now I'd like to ask you a quick question. Do you think that you need money to spend time with your family? You need money to go for a walk with your father, with your mother, with your siblings? Somebody wants to share?
No, I don't think you need money just for that. No, not really required. But probably for a broader perspective, if you want to be able to fulfill some special needs for them, like, if they have something to do with their health, for example, which is what some of my family members have a challenge with. So that is probably where, yes, a financial backup is needed, but not for spending time, for sure.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Priya, you wanted to share something? No.
I just reminded myself about that Mauritius vacation. And for that, if I need to take my family for a vacation like that, I would probably need the money, right?
Okay.
But not
Yes.
for spending time. Yeah.
And also, Vale, and also, of course, we don't need money to share with family, but if we want to celebrate with a barbecue, like we do in Argentina, we need the place and we need money for all that. So
okay.
I would like to add on. So apart from celebrations, and I know, but then it's the content, the feeling of the contentment, that is satisfaction. We have that, okay, we are keeping back a legacy for our, kids further, so that they can also lead a comfortable lifestyle. They have the freedom to choose the education, the place, the environment they want to live in. The way we were given by our parents, maybe I can leave something for my children that way. Not only my children, but also some more people who are like not very privileged, but then I would be very immensely happy if, I'm able to give them, especially the gift of education. Like you said, the financial literacy. So not only financial, but also the basic elements, what is required for them to grow. So I think with the lack of it, it's very difficult to see things, when people are in stress, when you are like, you have everything, but then you just can't help them. So it's like, okay, if I have so much of money, from somewhere, then I can at least help them. So
Brilliant.
Content is required.
Okay, yes. Okay, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. And there's no right or wrong answer. And it's wonderful that, I think it's very important to, I really believe in metacognition. Metacognition is about asking ourselves. We keep on asking ourselves, and with our own questions is that we find the answers. And yes, we need money to celebrate. We need money to share with others, to help others, and so forth. But I ask you something. You said we don't need money to spend time with our family, to go for a walk with our parents, to go for a walk with our friends. And I'm asking, now I ask you, what do you need in order to walk?
Tennis shoes.
You need tennis shoes. Okay, what else?
Legs.
And we need time.
Time. Legs. Lee said legs, I think. Yeah, what else do we need? We need energy. Yes, we need to be alive. And where do we obtain energy from? From food. Mm-hmm. And how do we get our food?
With money.
With money, yes. Okay. So therefore, why I'm so like this with this matter? Because sometimes people say, because of our beliefs, we say, oh, I don't care about money. Love is more important than money. And therefore, we don't give a place to money in our lives. And it's not about living for money, but having money to live the lifestyle that we want and to have the health that we want and to be able to enjoy our lives. Yes, putting it in a healthy place. So we need nowadays in the world we live, because it's not like oxygen. Oxygen is there and we must have oxygen to live. We as human beings decided that the way to interact with others and to share was with money as an energy that we interact and but it doesn't have to be that way. But we decided as people that we were going to do it that way. So today, nowadays, unless we lived in the Amazons, we need money to survive. We need money to buy shelter, to pay our rent or to have shelter, food, water, yes, water, I don't know how to say it in English, potable, yes, good water, you know what I mean? So we need money for that. And I think that once you admit that and you realize that, you say, oh, okay, so money, come to me, I'll look after you, I'll manage you properly, I'll save you properly, and you are a very good resource to have, really. So how do we do that? How do we achieve all that? How do we achieve that lifestyle that we were talking about before, that each one of you started thinking of? Well, there is what is the key to a successful life, no? And I'd like here to talk about Angela Duckworth. Angela Duckworth is a North American psychologist. She's a psychologist of success. She studied about the psychology of success, and she did a lot of studies about this. And she realized, interviewing lots of people and doing a big piece of research, that people with passion and perseverance were the ones who achieved a successful life. They were the ones who really lived the life that they wanted, and were successful business people. And she actually developed the grit scale, which is very good. It is very simple. You Google it and you answer a few questions and you know how much grit you have. And she says, well, your grit scale, it's a way of measuring and seeing whether you have the grit, what it takes to live the life, to be successful with your life. To me, people can define success in many different ways. To me, success is being where I want to be, living the day-to-day that I really want, with all its challenges. I'm not saying that life is, let's walk there and not work hard. Yes, it has many, many challenges, life. But I think that a successful life is where you say, well, I am the owner of my life. I am the protagonist of my life, and I do every day my best to live the life to the full. Yeah. And I agree with Angela Duckworth. I agree that we need passion and perseverance in order to achieve our goals. We need to know very well what we want, particularly, you know, in order to say, okay, I'll go for that. I have my goals and I have a plan in order to achieve those goals. And I have to have passion, because without passion, then it's like you're not really enjoying it as much. But to that, I'd like to add that apart from having passion and perseverance, we need to have emotional financial intelligence. And that's why I talk about women, men, everyone, we need emotional financial intelligence. And what do I mean by this concept that I created out of my crisis? And that's why it was so important for me to share my life crisis when I was 35 years old. To me, I define emotional intelligence as a fusion of our capacity to profoundly know ourselves that we were talking about before. You know, we know ourselves deeply. By this, I mean the ability to recognize our emotions, our beliefs, our gifts, our talents, our sense of life, our purpose of life, and the ability to develop a healthy relationship with money. Thus, we earn money and manage it in such a way that it is a resource to achieve the lifestyle we choose, coherently balanced with who we are and with our ties with others. So, saying it in a few words, having money as a resource to live the life that we want. Yeah, and in that life, we have our ties, our relationships, the most significant people in our lives. And we are always sharing things with money with our family, because we go to the supermarket, we go out for dinner, we go on holiday, we have to buy things. We are constantly talking about money or sharing some way or another things that have to do with money with our relationships. Yes. So that is the definition that I created about emotional financial intelligence. And going back to Angela Duckworth, I believe that we do need passion and perseverance, but also we need to develop our emotional financial intelligence, because as I said at the beginning, we haven't had emotional education and not financial education. And therefore, and as I said, you know, money is everywhere. Even if we need money to go for a walk with our parents. So if that is essential, then we better learn how to manage it properly. Yes. So, and now I want to go in particular to what has to do with women and emotional financial intelligence, because we say, okay, we have to do all that, but Vale, they never taught me how to manage this, and how do I do? And also, is there a difference between the way men and women deal with money? Do you think there is? Well, I'll share the findings from the World Economic Forum. They develop an index, a global gender gap index, where they explored 4 different aspects. One has to do with the economic participation and opportunity, educational attainment, health and survival, and political empowerment. What they say is they do a lot of studies every year. They review the index and they make lots of interviews in order to find out what is the gender gap between men and women in all these 4 areas. And it's interesting, the findings that they show is that there is 68% has been closed of the gap in the 4 areas. So there is still 22, am I right? Yes, 22% yet to be closed, the gap between men and women in the 4 areas. But if we go into each of them, the gap is wider in the political empowerment sub-index. Yes, still 78% to be closed of the gap. And in economic participation and opportunity, there is still 32% to be narrowed, the gap, yes, between men and women. So look at that, it is a lot. There's a huge difference between men and women in these areas. They actually say that it will take another 135.6 years to eliminate the gap, the gender gap between men and women. And what has to do with what is what we are talking about today, that is the economic aspect, 267.6 years. It's very, very, very much. It's just too much. And that's why I think it's very important for, for Power Up Network and all the work that we do in Argentina. We have, there are many of the beautiful women from Lean Networking, Lean that we work together to empower ourselves, to share and to support each other in our businesses. And there are many nowadays groups of people working hard in order to narrow the gap, yes? And hopefully with all the work that we are doing, it won't take us 267 years to eliminate the gap. It will take us less time. And so now, why do you think we have that gap? Why do you think there is such a gap between the way men and women, if we go particularly to this aspect that has to do with the economic participation and opportunity index?
I think traditionally somewhere the priorities have been different.
Thank
Maybe
you.
so it was always considered that men are supposed to be at the center of all kind of, maybe it was not about money few hundred years back, but essentially on similar lines, taking care, fending, protecting.
Beautiful what you're saying.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, because it's right. Maybe it wasn't money, but it was hunting, for example. Yes, if we go back to that stage, men went out to hunt to bring the food for us women, that we look after our children. We fed them. We managed all the food that men gave us, and we had to protect ourselves. Why did we have to protect ourselves? Because we were in charge of the reproduction, yes, in order to continue with the species. It was very dangerous for us as women or our young children to go out and hunt as well. So men risked their lives for us and for them, and said, okay, we have to hunt, we have to go and get the whatever animal there are out there, and bring it back in order to feed our family. So our role for millions of years was more to be receivers, to receive what men gave us and to manage that, but passively in order and look after our children. So whenever I talk about emotional financial intelligence, I say, well, for many, many millions of years, really, we trained a lot more as women, our emotional intelligence somehow, and men trained a lot more their financial intelligence, because they were the providers, they were the generators, they were the ones that was their role. And you have to keep up with that. It's a lot of pressure for men. Sometimes we talk about, we need to empower women. I agree, but also we need to understand that for men, having that pressure, they are the ones who have to provide for their family is very big. And therefore, many times men left aside their wishes, their desires, their purpose of life. I'd like to become, how many men maybe wanted to be psychologists or wanted to be teachers or wanted to be, I don't know, do something with handcraft, and they didn't allow themselves to go into that because, that I won't make much money with that, therefore I have to go to another profession that gives me more money. No? And how many times maybe women wanted to go to work and do something, but they felt, no, it's not appropriate. It's none of our business. We can't do that. I feel guilty about doing that. So, yes? Okay, so we're talking about this millions of years, we've been trained more like this and like that. So I think that is one of the main reasons for this gap. And that takes us into the crystal ceilings. Do you have that expression, the crystal ceilings, in terms of statistics show that only a very small percentage of women take leadership roles in
glass ceiling.
Yes, glass ceilings. Yes, glass ceilings. Yeah, that's the word. So why? Because, well, we usually for the employers, they have this issue about, oh no, she'll go on maternity leave. Oh no, she'll have to deal with her children. And therefore, we were more into I talk about different roles that we have. And our role was more to do with household, looking after household tasks, childcare, and all that. And therefore, it was difficult for us to earn money, to think about making money when that was our role, that was our mandate. We had to do that, no? So I think that those things are changing a lot. And if we work hard and we continue offering the opportunity for women to empower themselves and to develop their emotional financial intelligence, I think that we would work as a team, men and women. We are a team. We are a team in looking after our children. We are a team in taking care of the household tasks. We are a team in making money, you know? Life is much better when we are a team. Okay, so let's continue. We have then, you know, emotional financial intelligence, and I didn't change those letters, but well, we have on one hand, I left it in Spanish, inteligencia emocional financiera. Okay, so on one hand, we have the emotional aspect that we need, you know, all the tools that we have in order to develop that, and also the financial aspect. And I want to share quickly, because I know that we have limited time, what I mean about having emotional tools, developing our emotional financial intelligence. Firstly, thinking about our beliefs, yes? How do our beliefs impact on our daily lives? You know, these beliefs about, oh no, men have to generate money, men have to make money, we have to manage what they provide us. We depend on men in order to survive financially. No, we are not autonomous. Okay, so our beliefs then take us to different thoughts, those thoughts to different feelings, those feelings to different actions. Those actions, when we repeat them day to day, they become habits, and those habits become results, the same result, yes? So I want to share with you some examples to show this process of manifestation, as they call it, yeah, which is very powerful. And it's very powerful because sometimes we don't even know what our beliefs are. We believe that we believe something, but we actually don't believe that. We believe that we deserve to earn and make a lot of money. However, unconsciously, we believe that it's not fair, that it should be for others, that could be dangerous. Yes, and therefore the way we act with money is trying to validate that belief and not the belief that we believe that we believe. Yes. Okay, so let's share with you some of the thoughts, some examples to reflect on. One can be, money can cause many problems. Maybe you don't think that you believe that, but you do believe that deep inside. If you have a lot of money, having a lot of money can cause many problems. People can be with you because you have money, then you don't know how to deal with it, or you can then lose it. Saving money is impossible for me. It depends on your financial personality, that we'll go into that in a little while. You may think it is impossible for me to save money. Therefore, if it is impossible, it will be impossible. If you think about it, if you believe that, it will happen. I'm frightened by the thought of losing all my money. I don't know how to manage money, let alone my personal finances. So going back to this manifestation system, yes, if our belief is that having a lot of money is problematic, can cause a lot of problems, therefore my thought will be, yeah, that is sometimes the belief and the thought is very similar. Sometimes there are beliefs that we don't know and operate with our thoughts. Therefore, our feelings when we start making a lot of money will be, oh dear, this will cause me a lot of trouble. And therefore, consciously or unconsciously, our action will be to get rid of that money, either overspend, lose it, give it away, yes? Because what? Because we don't want to have all that amount of money, because it is dangerous, it is problematic. That becomes a habit, and the result is that we don't have a lot of money, because having a lot of money can cause us many problems, you see? It is very powerful the way it works, and that's why it's very important to find what our beliefs, our real beliefs are, that, as I said before, Some of them are conscious and some of them are very unconscious, because it comes from the hunting times, you know, where maybe we have the belief that women do not, it's not good for women to make money. That is more the role of the man, no? And therefore, if that is your thought and you're starting to make money, it's going to go against your belief, and therefore your action, you will be feeling guilty, like, no, I don't deserve it. And your action will be, again, or not to make money, and therefore with your business, you will not making the calls that you have to make, you won't be making the orders that you have to make, you will be making lots of things in order to validate your belief, that is, men should make more money than women. So if you share your finances with your husband, with your partner, then you will always do whatever it, unconscious or unconsciously, in order to earn less money than your husband, because he should be the one who earns more. And this, I see it all the time with the people that I work with. Or even women that are on their own, they don't have a partner, and they are still waiting for the prince to come and to save them, and suddenly all their financial problems will be solved because this blue prince will appear, no? And what do? We keep postponing our financial health due to this. Another aspect to have, things that we can do in order to develop our emotional intelligence in terms of money, is to discover our financial personality. I've done a lot of studies about this. As I said before, I'm an educational psychologist, therefore everything has to do with how we build our personality, something that I'm very passionate about. And through all my work with lots of people in my consultations, I realized that there are five financial personalities. One, it's the altruistic, the analytic, the giver, the saver, and the impulsive. Each personality means money, differently. They share money differently. They deal with money differently. You can more or less imagine the altruistic doesn't really care about money. Where's money? Does that exist? It's like like things will flow, somehow it will appear, and then the analytic, they liked analyzing money. Money equals responsibility. They want to do their best with their money, and therefore they analyze every single penny. The giver loves giving money. Money equals love, give and take, sharing, having experiences with others. The saver, money equals security. Not having money is under control. It's very threatening, yes? And the impulsive, money is power. Money is being prestigious. Money is status. And they love buying and having the latest, outfit and everything, yes? This is generally speaking. And then we can go into the details on each of one, that each of one manages money differently. Each of one earns money differently, yes? For example, a saver will find it very hard not to have a stable job with a stable income. They will find being entrepreneur with the differences in income month to month quite stressful. So they'll have to, if they want to be an entrepreneur, because that is something that it really means to them for purpose of life, they will do so, but they must have their savings there, in order to make sure that if they don't have enough income that month, they will have enough money in order to pay their cost of living, for example. Each one of them buys things differently and sells things differently. The impulsive will go, 2 for 1, or 30% off, 70% off. I want to go there. They love all the offers or the sales. Now with Thanksgiving, they are all the impulsive are on a party really. The analytic will check. Okay, let's see whether if this is a good deal, price versus quality and benefits. Let's see whether this is good for me, and so on. The saver will feel guilty. Or is this really necessary? I must buy this or not? you know, and so forth. Then they share money differently with others, you know, with our close relationships, with our friends, with our team at work. You know, if you have a business and you have partners in your business, the way you make decisions about money with your partners, you know, your financial personality is very involved there. That's why I love working with business people, you know, because it really impacts your financial personality in every decision you make about money, and therefore in your business. And many times these are the main reasons why they go into bankrupt. Yeah. And then we have each one of them has its strengths, its weaknesses, its opportunities, and its threats. None of them is better than the other one, because usually we tend to do that. Oh no, she's a spender. Oh, she's so impulsive, terrible. Oh no, but you don't enjoy money. Come on, spend. Life is to enjoy. And we keep on judging how others deal with money, and we don't look at ourselves. So that's why, to me, it's very nice to learn about financial personalities, because it's a way of empathizing with me, first of all, and then with the other one. And understanding that because they mean money differently, is that they don't care if they don't have any savings, or they do care if they don't have any savings, for example. No? And then, of course, each one of them, I share financial tips to each one of them, because it's different the way they will manage their money according to their financial personality. And you will say, Vale, but I feel identify with a bit of all of them. Well, that's very true. We make our own. It's like a puzzle where we make our own financial personality, having a bit of all of them. Yes. And that's the nice thing about it, that if you, once you identify your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats, you can then make your own one and say, oh, I've had enough of this bit of my personality, of my financial personality. I want to live life differently. And that's what happened to me when I was 35 years old. I had enough of worrying about money and saving it and not enjoying it. Life is to enjoy. So therefore, I commit myself to make a lot of money in order to have more and to enjoy more, and to give myself those permissions to enjoy, yes, and to spend. And also, it's very important to think then, what do we do with others? You know, we always share money with others, with our partners, with our friends, with our siblings, yes. And there we have to get the balance. And I love this because in couples, for example, when they have two opposite financial personalities, the opposite financial personalities can either have a battle, constant battle, judging each other and not seeing the strengths of the other one, or they can have a beautiful dance, the dance of the financial personalities, where we complement, where we put together our strengths, and out of those strengths, we make the most of the two, really. And that's the beauty of it, you know? I think that it's key in order, because I think that life is to, you know, the most important aspect of our lives is our social, our relationships, really. That is what we really, really treasure. And with COVID, that was shown to us very, very clearly. Now we were there, and what we missed the most was not being able to see our friends, our family being so far away. And so we prioritized our health and our family. So I think that learning about these aspects is a way of really growing healthy relationships. Yeah. And then we go to the financial. Yes, Ceci.
Yes, I think your screen is frozen. Are you presenting?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I am presenting. Yes. Can you see it now or not?
Yes, yes. But
okay,
it seems it was frozen in one slide. I don't.
Okay, let me see. No, maybe it was. Thank you, Ceci, for telling me. Okay, so up to here, you saw this. You saw this. Ah, okay. No. Sorry. Thank you. Okay, so and this.
Yep.
You saw this bit?
No, I haven't. I don't know the rest of the people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It was
so
there.
These are the different financial personalities. You saw this.
We just saw the circle in the middle. The rest
Okay.
we did not see.
Oh, I'm very sorry about that. I don't know why it happened. Okay, so here is where we go to the financial personalities, and each one of them that I was talking about before, the analytic, the giver, the saver, the impulsive, and each one of them has a way of managing it, of earning it, of buying, or selling, of sharing, of its strengths, its weaknesses, its opportunities and threats. And each of one has different financial tips because we deal it differently. I can't ask altruistic to be keeping track of every single expenditure that they have. They will say, Vale, you're completely crazy. No, I can't do that. Yes. So, but then those financial, with all those, then we build our own. That's what I was saying before. We build our own, like a puzzle where we join different aspects of our personality and we build our own. It's not that you are analytic, full stop. No, you may be analytic with bits of saver, with bits of altruistic, with bits of giver, with bits of impulsive. Yes. And what I was then saying is that when we share with others day to day, we need to get that balance between both financial personalities. For example, with our partners, where we complement, where we make this dance of the financial personalities, making the most of our strengths and trying to work on our weaknesses or on our threats. Yes. Thank you, Ceci, for telling me that, because I was convinced that you were seeing what I was showing. Okay, so then we go into the financial aspect. Yes, we have the emotional aspect of our emotional and financial intelligence, with our beliefs, with our financial personality, with what we want in life, with our sense of life, our purpose. And then we go to the financial aspect. That is, first of all, we have to say, okay, how are we today? What is our economic financial picture? What is our economic financial health? Are we on debt? Do we have savings? What is the cost of living? What is our cost of living? Because it's not to do with being a millionaire. You know, you can be in debt being a millionaire because you don't manage your money properly, or you can be in a very healthy financial status, earning I don't know, $500 per month. I don't know, whatever. It all depends where you are. No, so it's not to do with how much you earn, if not what you do with that you earn. Yes. So first of all, having that clear picture is fundamental. Having your clear objectives, what you want, what we talked about at the beginning. You know, what are your goals, your lifestyle? What is it that you desire? And then having an action plan, how I will achieve it and when I plan to do so. Having a clear plan, and that's where I share in my method of developing our emotional and financial intelligence. What do I do? How do I save? Where do I invest my money? I want to share with you, but this is in Spanish. So for all of you who do speak Spanish, you can go into my website, valelaco.com, and there is a test, a free test for your financial health. There are only 7 questions that you answer them very quickly, and you know in which financial state you are. And I actually talk about 5 of them. That the first one is the survival, being in financial survival state, where you are surviving. You don't, you're on debt or not, but you don't have any savings. Under a circumstance, or extraordinary circumstance, you don't have any money to be able to make front to that is happening to you. Then the next one is the stable health, financial health. You're stable, you have savings. Then security, financial security is where you have just 2 years of your cost of living saved and ready to be used if necessary. I'm talking about financial, not economic. It's different, financial and economic. Yes, you may have a lot of properties, but still be in a survival financial health state. Yes. And then the other one is financial freedom. That's what we all must do to achieve our financial freedom, because one day we won't be able to actively make money because our body will say, okay, Vali, I had enough. I don't want to continue working for money. I want to continue living the lifestyle that I want with the money, the passive money that I make, with all the income, with all my goods that I've been able to grow through all my life. And the last one is abundance. that abundance, only 1% of the population reach that level. That is people that make so much money, that the money makes so much money that they, well, it's just, but I have to mention it because there's some people that are there, yes. But our obligation, we must all work to achieve our financial freedom. Is not an option, because one day in life, or we want to stop working, or our body says, okay, I had enough, you know, we need, and there you don't want to go into, I say, or it's financial freedom or it's financial prison. Why prison? Because you are a prisoner of your own financial status. You don't have enough money to cover your cost of living, and therefore you have to change your way of living because you didn't plan for it. Yes. So, so summing up, we have our lifestyle. From there, first of all, we need to think about that. There are our source of income. That source of income, we have to manage it intelligently in order to provide for our lifestyle, but then protect our income. That is very important to have those tools to protect our income, save, and that we save, invest it, yes, in order to grow our money. So again, all to do with our dreams, with our desires, with our lives, you know? So what will you commit to do in order to achieve the lifestyle that you desire? What will you try? Will you try at least to see your financial picture, how you are today? Will you try to discover what are your beliefs with money? What is your financial personality? Would you like to learn more about your financial personality? Would you like to think about more in detail what lifestyle you really want to achieve? What is a non-negotiable for you? All those questions are some two tasks that you may have in order to commit to yourself, really. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Vale. It was a great presentation. Thank you very much.
A pleasure.
Priya, do we have time for questions?
Yes, I think we can take a couple of questions. I have one question, Vale. You have introduced us to some financial personalities. Is there a best match that you can have, right?
Is there a, sorry?
A best match of different personalities which will work well together.
Yeah, very good question. Usually the ones that are the ones that are opposite, if they complement, it's great. Yes. So however, it's one of those things, you know, sometimes both personalities, when there are a couple, for example, or a team of people working, let's think about a couple because it's different in business, you know. In business, 100%, it's best to have a variety of personalities because with all those strengths, you make the most of the business. In a couple, it depends really, because sometimes really the ideal is to have the opposite financial personalities to empathize with yours, to really embrace what your strengths are, see your partner's strengths, and therefore complement each other. However, it can be very risky, and that's why statistics show that more than 50% of couples split because of money issues. And many of those times it's because they have opposite financial personalities. When you don't see the complement and you are a battle judging each other and not supporting each other and seeing the other one as a threat rather than as an opportunity, that can become in a big issue, really. So that's why, to me, it's essential to really understand them, to get to know each other, and work as a team towards, you know, having financial health.
True. There is a question that I see here. Can someone have more than one personality depending on situation?
Yeah, definitely. We build our personality, and you can change your personality. Here, I'd like to quote Carol Dweck. Carol Dweck is also a North American psychologist, and she talks about having a mental growth, you know, a growth mentality rather than a fixed mentality. Yeah. And in those lines, yes, we can always change, and we can always, yes, grow and be who we want, you know? And in that sense, for example, that's what happened to me. I was very much a saver. I worried about money, and that had to do with my my experiences when I was a little girl, you know, with my family. I suffered a lot with things that had to do with money. However, I'm the youngest of 8. I have 7 siblings. You know, my eldest sibling is 62 years old. I'm 45. And we all have different financial personalities, and we all in some way or another experience the same issues at home. But it was to do with me, you know, and therefore, then I started changing things. So yes, going back to the question, we don't have just one. One is the one that is the dominant somehow, yes, but we have a bit of all the rest of them, and it's up to us to be making the changes in order to live live with a financial personality that we wish to do so.
Here's another question. Okay. How do you work out your financial personality?
Well, firstly, identifying it, you know, getting to know all its characteristics. Yes. And well, I must say today, I'm starting a workshop. It is in Spanish. So all of you who speak in Spanish, you're more than welcome to join me. Today, started a workshop on financial personalities that it goes for a week. Oh, thank you, Ceci, for sharing it. There is a link. And it's every single day from today till next Friday. I'm sharing short videos of different movies where they show the different financial personalities for you to start reflecting on it. And then on Saturday, the 27th, we have a Zoom webinar for 2 hours from 10 to 12 Argentine time, where I'll share all the theory about the different financial personalities. And from there, you can, you know, that's, for me, that's a way, because there is a lot. That's why I always say I'm not just a financial coach. I'm an educator as well, because I need to give this information. There's information that we don't have about this. I made a lot of research in order to have this information. And so firstly, getting to know yourself very well and getting to know your close relationships, financial personality, and then taking the steps, the necessary steps to make those changes.
Vale, you will have to do it in English too, because here is people asking for that.
I'd love to. Yes, I have to learn how all the English words, but I'm happy to do so, and I'm happy to share. I'm passionate about this. It's just, when you see the changes that happen to people, really, it's like you say, okay, I can't keep it just to myself. You know, I have to share it. So it's my obligation, really. So I will. If you want to, let me know, Ceci. That would be great. If there's an amount of people that are willing to do so, I'm happy to. We can think together at a date, and we can think about it in, I don't know, mid-January or something like that, and we can.
Here in the chat, there are people talking about that. So
brilliant. That's wonderful.
Especially the assessment, if that can be done in English, so that would help. You talked about a financial
the financial health assessment. Oh dear. You know how much it took me to have that authorized. It's just, behind that, those 7 simple questions, there is a lot of programming from experts that did that. It's very, very difficult, because it's not just A plus B plus C, it equals survival health. No, it's very complex. So I can do that in a one-to-one session. Definitely, I ask you a few questions and I can tell you straight away in which financial state you are, but not like that in the website. Sorry, I have to be honest. Not yet, as Carol Dweck will say. Not yet. One day maybe. Yes, definitely, Paudi. You have a very good excuse. Yes.
Love Spanish. Yeah. Do we have any more questions, Cecilia?
What does a typical day in the life of a financial coach looks like?
What a typical day it looks like? Oh, it's very varied, because I do one-to-one sessions. I do workshops like this one. I also have 2 courses on my website that are on demand, so people do them when they want to. And sometimes they consult me and they say, oh, I'm doing this workshop. I have one that is my money is my ally. You say that? Yes. And it's all about personal finance. And they do it, and they want to check something out with me. So they have a one-to-one, and there I work with families as well. It's beautiful to work with families with, and with children over 16, the workshop of financial personalities, children of over 16 join as well, which is great. And I work with businesses. So it's very varied, really.
And Vale is in TV program also.
Wow. That's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. It's great because that's my purpose. It's my purpose in life. It really makes a lot of sense to me. It's very coherent with me to share this, and I'm happy because people are finding it very interesting. I actually spoken yesterday, for example. I had a talk with people from Dominican Republic, and I'm going to give a talk in January about this, because sometimes we go straight into how we need to manage and earn money. We go straight into that. Oh, what is a bank account? And you need to have your savings account, and you need to invest and this and that, which is great. And it is very, very important. But if we don't relate healthily to money, no matter how much we do, then we will manage to get rid of our money if we think money is dangerous, and therefore we won't have successful businesses. We won't live a successful life. So I think it's crucial, really, to as well as developing our financial intelligence, it's crucial to develop our emotional financial intelligence. That's why emotional goes first. Yes, it's, in my method, that is the first aspect. The first pillar is, the self-recognition, the getting to know ourselves deeply.
Great. Celia, any more questions on the chat? Do you see?
No. I can't see anyone. No, not more.
All right. So I think we have a great quote of the day from Valley. And I would request Parvinder to share that quote of the day.
Sure. Thank you so much.
How does this look like, Valley? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you very much. Yeah, lovely.
Thank you so much, Valerie, for all the information that you have shared. I think that's the need of the hour, helping people identify like what kind of perception they have towards earning for themselves and for their close ones. So identifying the personality and how do you leverage your energy towards becoming your best version. So I think this is one takeaway that we can think about the whole weekend. I think this is really something to ponder on.
Thank you very much, Parminder. Yeah, thank you. Yes.
We'll be posting this across so that this little gem of knowledge spreads far and wide, and we'll also be sharing the recording so that your thoughts can be taken by the crowd. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful, because I'd like to share. Many other people wanted to join us, but it's Saturday morning, so they couldn't. And yeah, it's nice to have it recorded for them to see it later.
No problem. All right, Cecilia, what are you then?
Pleasure, Paudi. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing your name properly. Sorry, apologies for that if I'm not. Paula. Okay. Oh, Paula. Wonderful. Yeah. Oh, thank you. You're so quick. This is lovely. My certificate. Oh, thanks.
Small token of appreciation from our side. Yes, Cecilia, go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you again, Vale. And please accept this token of appreciation from Women Power Up Network.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Pleasure. Big pleasure.
Thank you, guys. And thank you, everyone, for joining this event. And thank you, Valley, for your gems of wisdom and gems of knowledge. And really, I didn't know about the financial personalities at all. I learned something new today. And I will do an analysis of what personality my husband has. He's a giver, of course. I will try to balance it, as you rightly said. Yeah. Do let us know what you think about this event, everyone. Take the poll 59748442 and let us know what you think about this event. Share your feedback, because your feedback actually helps us to improve better. And with that, I think we will close the event. Cecilia, Meghna, Parvinder. Okay. All right. So we will be back again in February 2022 with our grand annual conference. Watch out our social media handles for more. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you soon.
And
Thank
happy
you.
week, happy end of
weekend,
the
of
year.
course.
Happy New Year.
Oh, yes.
Happy New Year, of course.
Happy Thanksgiving for Lee. And all the,
Happy Thanksgiving for Lee. Yes, of course. All right.
And Nelson, my brother that is in the States too.
Thank you, Vale. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great
Pleasure.
session.